Hello ladies, hi, I hope you all are keeping safe. I'm really excited to be doing this video for you guys, and I hope you're going to get value out of it. I hope you're going to make the most of it. So for those of you who don't know me, I am called Leila Kiga. I'm a personal branding and communication strategist at Kara Communications. I help women, I teach women how to uncover their bankable gift and build authentic and aesthetic brands around that, so that they can begin to gain more attention, attract clients, and of course make money. And so today I am going to be sharing with you some very brief yet very effective steps on how you can build an effective social media content strategy. The kind of content you put out on social media will either turn your brand into a household name or will turn your followers into fans. Hey, come on, who doesn't want that? Personally, I want that to happen for me. I want my social media to be working for me, to be bringing those clients and be helping me make the money that I want to make. And for this to happen, you're supposed to be conscious and intentional in what you do on social media, the kind of content you're going to be putting out there, the kind of things you're going to be saying, the kind of steps you're going to take will determine the kinds of things that will happen to you in turn. Now, if you put content that is inspiring, that is engaging, that is bringing value, it's just a matter of time and you begin to see your fans, your followers become clients, become people who want to ask you, can we pay for this? Can we get what you're doing? How do we pay for it? And so those are things we're going to be looking at. And before we go, I want you to understand that there is no one size fit all when it comes to social media content strategy. Okay, what works for me might not work for you, but the principles that guide all of this are the same. The underlying principles are the same, and those are the principles we're going to be looking at this day. We're going to be looking at some of those things that we need to put in place so that we can have effective social media content strategies that can help drive our intentions. And we're going to look at a very four to five very effective yet very powerful steps. The very first one is you want to identify and set goals. Okay, having a goal in mind will help you craft the strategy, will help you curate content, will help you be focused and intentional on what you want to achieve. There is no way you are going to succeed on social media if you don't have a clear-cut goal. You have to ask yourself the question, why am I on social media? Why do I want to use social media for my business? Why is social media important for me? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. Are the clients that I even want, are they even here? Those are things you'll be asking yourself. And the very first thing you want to find out is, which goal do I want to meet first up? And according to statistics, there are about 5 different main reasons why people come to social media. The very first one, and that's about 70%, is that they want to increase brand awareness. And so if you have to increase, or you want to increase brand awareness, that should be the goal you set for yourself. And when you have this goal in mind, the kind of content you begin to put out there is governed or is guided by this goal. You know, the things you're going to share on social media will be driving those you're talking to towards this goal that you have, which is increasing your brand awareness. If that's the goal that you have, then the content needs to follow in that light. The second is, if you want to get sales or you want to generate leads, the content you have to put online will definitely go in this line, you know, because if you want to generate leads and the kind of content you're putting out are meant for maybe brand awareness or increase in brand awareness, you're going to see that the results are not going to be what you expect. And you might think that social media is not effective, but the reason is you are putting out the content that don't tie with the goals you have. And the very third thing is, you might want to increase community awareness. You might want to build a community around your brand. You might want to make people aware of who you are. And so the things you're putting on social media is to increase the awareness in your community about what you're doing and who you are. The fourth one might be you want to grow your brand's audience, which means you want to reach out to more people. Probably you already had an audience you were working with, and then now you've decided that, okay, I'm going to take this step forward. I'm going to open it up to another kind of audience, another kind of target market. That could be a goal you identify and you set for yourself. Now, when you get this in place, the content you're going to be curating, the content you're going to put out is going to govern and is going to drive, so that at the end of the day, when you come to evaluate, you're going to see if the content is really meeting this goal, or you need to tweak or change, or maybe take another step. And the very fifth is either you want to increase web traffic. Okay, maybe you want to drive consumers to your website, you want to drive people to go and buy your products on your website, you want to drive people to go and read a blog, get something from your page. These are all the reasons that statistics show that most people come on social media for. And so if you are in one of these categories, then you need to identify this and you need to break it down. Okay, you need to break down this goal to be certain that this is what you want, and this is how you're going to go about it. And then when you have identified this goal, this objective, this specific thing you want to achieve on social media per time, remember your goals will be evolving depending on what you want to do, depending on where you are. For example, you can begin by wanting to increase brand awareness, and you get to a point where you want to step it up and you want to start selling and generating leads. You can do both side by side, but it's always important that you are specific in your goals so you can measure your results and see if you are achieving your goals. It's very important. Now, when I started building my fashion accessory brand, the very first thing I did was I wanted to grow brand awareness. I wanted to increase my awareness. I wanted people to know about the brand. So the kind of content I was putting out there was basically telling people about the brand, what the brand is all about, why the brand, who I am, and the motivation behind everything, and the behind the scenes, what we're working to bring to them, the things we're bringing to them, the value that these things are going to bring to them. That's what I spent a really good amount of time, about 6 months doing, just getting people aware of the brand, getting bloggers to help me blog about it, get people to talk about it, sharing about it, going on TV and on interviews to talk about the brand, not necessarily selling it. I'm just going to talk about the brand and the kind of value I want to bring to women. That's why I was on social media all the time, and on media and on my page and on everything to grow the brand awareness. Now, when it got to a point, I decided to start generating leads and getting sales. So I started talking about the benefits of the product using brand ambassadors and models to showcase the product, how you can use it, how you can style it, and how it can benefit you. I started talking about discounts, sales. I started talking about partnerships. I started talking about so many things, and I started encouraging people to click on the link to buy this one, all of that. And then it kept evolving. I got to a point where I wanted people to start buying now from my website, from my online store. So I started sharing my blog articles, how to wear the shoes, how to use them. And I send them to my website to read the blog articles, because when you read the blog articles, and in those articles I show them how they can style the accessories, and then in the same blog article I put links that when they click, it opens up the shop in the website where they can buy those articles. And so I drove the traffic to my website on Facebook and on Instagram. I drove the traffic. So there's so many things you can do. You can do it progressively, just like you can do it side by side, but you need to be very clear on the things you want to achieve so you can really measure if it's working for you. If not, you're going to be putting out content and then you're going to come out and say, I've been on social media, I post every day, I post 3 times like they say, I post 5 times like they say, but I don't get any results. So it's very important to be clear on your intentions. And then now, once you are certain on the goals you want to achieve, the very next thing you want to do is you want to plan your social content. But before you do that, the very first step is you want to audit your current social content. Okay, you want to see the content you've created so far, how it has been performing, and you need to analyze the data you've been putting online. So even if you're not using a social media tool, those tools you use to schedule and post and evaluate your social media, it's okay. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, all you need to do is to go to the insights. If you're not using that, I'll advise that you go to Facebook Creator Studio. There is this new service that Facebook has put in place called the Creator Studio. Go there. That is where you can log into all your accounts, your Facebook and your Instagram accounts side by side, and you can even schedule your posts from there and post both of them outside. When we come to how to schedule your content on social media, I'm going to talk more about that. But you can go there, and there is a place there on the left hand bar called Insights. Click there and you're going to see the insight on the performance of all the content you've had to put on social media. You want to look at how those content have been performing. Look at the ones that have been performant. Look at the ones on which people have been engaging. Look at the kind of content that people have been engaging with, the kind of content that people have been sharing a lot. That gives you an idea of what people are going to engage with on your social media. It will help you substantiate what you think is working well with quantitative data, and that shows that, and it's going to show you how each of your posts performs. So if there's a post you put out there that has no engagement, you need now to take time to tweak it and work on it. It means probably it's not what your audience wanted, it's not what your audience need to hear. And there might be also another post where you had a lot of engagement. People really came and spoke and asked. You need to start planning how you're going to put out more of such content. That shows those are the things that people are asking questions about. Those are the things that people are seeking solutions to. And so while you're doing this research, while you're auditing, also take note of which of the platforms where you really get engagement on, okay? Because it's not only about posting everywhere to say I have an Instagram account, I have a Twitter account, I have a Facebook account, I have a LinkedIn account, I have a WhatsApp account, I have a TikTok, whatever social media you find yourself on. It's about ensuring that you are getting engagement and people are really engaging with you on those platforms. So while you are doing your auditing, your content auditing, please ensure to also take note of this media where people really engage with you, the medium where people really come to talk with you. For example, I have a LinkedIn account, I have a Twitter account, I have a Pinterest account, I have a Facebook, WhatsApp, I have a Instagram. But over the years, I've realized that I engage more with people on Facebook and on Instagram. So what I do is I spend more of my time where the people that I talk to or people who engage with me are found. The other accounts, I definitely use them, I keep them running, but my focus is on these ones because my ID clients are there. For example, I have a fashion accessory business, and since fashion accessory is very colorful and very visual, I spend a lot of time on Instagram and even on Facebook sharing photos on how you can style my accessories, how you can wear my shoes, how you can rock them, how you can help you, and so many tips. Same thing on Facebook because I know it's visual. Instagram because people go to Instagram for pictures, for colorful things, for images that can appeal to them and they can make them want to come and send you a DM and say how can we buy, or go to your bio and click on your links and buy from you. Facebook because it's a community where we can really engage. But the advantage Facebook has over Instagram is that on Facebook you have the possibility to share more detailed content. You have the possibility to share your links in your post. You have the possibility to do a lot of things. You know, Instagram, you need to limit the amount of words. You need to share the links in the bio. You need to use a third-party app so that you can be able to place all those things. And so Facebook has more liberty. And so I use both so that I can appeal to both audiences. And that's where I get more engagement. On LinkedIn, I realized that I don't really get the kind of engagement I desire, even though it's a professional network. I love it so much, but I prefer this too because I've seen engagement on it. So you might want to also do that for yourself to make sure that you really know those things that you ought to be doing. And I'm going to give you some reasons why people unfollow consumer brands, or why consumers unfollow brands on social media. The very first thing is that poor customer service. And so when you are sharing your business on social media, you need to ensure that your customer service is top-notch. People will be able to buy from you and they're going to get the feedback they need to get from you. You're going to follow up on every engagement, you're going to follow up on every sales, you're going to follow up on every delivery and make sure that your customers are satisfied. If not, the customers are going to unfollow your brand. That's one of the reasons why they unfollow brands. The second one is that you post irrelevant content. And so when you begin to post content that is not relevant to your brand or to what those people need, they unfollow you. They say, hey, this is not what I need. It is the same thing like, you know, sometimes when you subscribe to an email list and the person starts sending you content and suddenly you realize that the things they're sending is not what you thought they had to send. And when you go to unfollow, they always ask you the questions, why do you want to go? And most of the times you always see the question, the content is not what I need. I don't need this content. It's not what I signed up for, you know. That's what happens when you begin to share content that are not relevant to your audience, or when you are on a social media platform where your audience are not found. And so you need to take that into consideration as well. And you really need to work on that. It's very important. And then the third reason why they will unfollow you is that there is too much adverts. A lot of people spend time advertising instead of giving value, and that's why selling is a problem to many people. People don't like when you come on up so strong on them and you just keep selling, buy my this, buy my that, buy my. No, it really irritates a lot of people, and they can easily unfollow you because of that. And so you want to share value, and you want to sell without selling. Okay, you're selling without selling because you're sharing the benefits and the value and the transformation. And once they see and buy into that transformation, they will ask you, how can I have this? And so you've sold without selling, without saying come and buy. You've just been telling them, hey, this thing can transform you, it can help you, it can change you. And another thing they will unfollow you is that you have too much promotional posts. Promotional posts are good, but you don't need to make too much of it. In a week, probably a promotional post should be once in a week, just once in a week, where you promote something, except when you have a sales or a launch coming up. But even at that, you need to be very careful how you're sending the content, because you might drive your audience to unfollow you. And also, you talk about politics and other things that are unrelated to what you are doing. And that's why a personal profile is different from a business profile. You need to have both. If you don't have both, then you need to start working on that. Your personal profile, you can share the things you want to share about yourself, your faith, your political views, whatever you think you want to share about yourself. When it comes to your business page, you need to stick to what you want your consumers to know about your brand and what you want them to buy from you. Don't make the mistake of bringing your political, your religious, and every other view to your business page. They are going to unfollow you, and you need to take that also into consideration. And also, you ignore posts and mentions from people. I see this happen a lot. People are mentioned, people are appreciated, and people come and comment and maybe ask questions, and those who put out the content, they ignore them. And they ignore the content and they just go on as if nothing is happening. When consumers come to your page, they want to relate with you. And so when they post and they share and they comment and they like and they mention you, you ought to come back and comment on it and ensure that you make them know that you've seen it and you're taking it into consideration. If not, those people are going to unfollow you, even if they were your ideal clients. Even if they love the thing you are doing and they really need it, they're going to unfollow you, and they're going to look for somebody who is doing it and they can pay attention to them and they can show them some love. And so you need to take that into consideration. And finally, people who use a lot of influencers to sell their products risk having people unfollow them. This is very, very funny, and that's why a personal brand is very important. Very important. Because most of the time, influencers come there for money. They come there because they just want to sell. They just want to make money. And they don't even consume the brands, because when you go to look at their real everyday life, probably those brands don't really make an integral part of their lives. And so when they realize that you're using people who are not authentic, people who are not true to it, people who are not everyday people like themselves, they tend to say, this is not for me. The kind of people you're using are not the kind of people I can relate to. So, well, I don't think this is for me, and they unfollow you. They leave your page. And so you need to take these things into consideration when you are preparing to put your content on social media and you're planning how you're going to post on social media. But after having identified your goals and after having planned your content, and how you plan your content is that first of all you audit to make sure that the content you have is what your audience need. And you do that by going to your insight to see those content that are performing well and to see those that are not performing, so you can get rid of them and start preparing to do more of those that are attracting engagement and attention from your clients. The third thing you need to do is that you need to build a content calendar. A content calendar, if you want to make finding the right posting time easier on the different social media platforms, collect data from your followers and put together a report that tells you when your post will achieve the most reach. Okay, so for you to be able to build a content calendar, the very first thing you want to do is you still want to go to your insight and you want to see the best performing post. You want to see when your clients are online the most. You want to see the time where they engage more with you, because it's going to help you schedule your post at the time when you are sure that your audience is online. You need to do this. If not, you're going to struggle struggle. You're going to put out content and it's not going to get engagement. But when you know that my audience are usually online, maybe at 9 a.m. or 10 p.m., that is when you begin to schedule your content, so that when it comes online, it is fresh and they see it. Why? Because at times when you put content online, people receive a lot of things on their feed. And so by the time they come online, your own might have gone so down, far down, that what they see is what appeared the moment they came online, and they might engage with that, and they won't be able to go back to where you are because it's too much work scrolling, and so they might not see it. You think they're ignoring your content. No, they didn't just see your content, okay? So you want to make sure that you post at the time when they are online, so they will see your content immediately it goes out and they can engage with you. It's very important. So you need to go to your insights, and you need to also look at that and see how you are going to post. When is a good time, the days they are online often, the hours they are online often, how they engage on your post and all of that. That statistic will help you build your posting calendar. For example, I have my audience online early hours in the morning. Excuse me. Early hours in the morning, I have them, and late in the evening from 6 to 9 p.m. my audience is also online. And so if I schedule my post in the morning hours, I know I'm going to get feedback. And also if I schedule it at from 6 p.m. right out to 9 p.m., especially the 9 p.m., 8 p.m. hours, I'm going to get engagement. So I can decide to say, okay, if I want to post on social media just once on each platform, then I'm going to do it at the peak hour where I know my audience comes and engages with my post. And I'm going to look for the days when they are really online also, and I'm going to make sure I post those important and valuable things on those days, so they can engage with it and I can see results. That is what you need to note. And the fourth thing, you need to promote and distribute your content. Planning and distributing your content is only a small percentage of successful social media strategy. Now, when you establish a content distribution strategy, you set up all your posts, and then you're going to spread and share them more widely. And when you share them widely, what happens is that when other people begin to come and engage with your post and begin to share it also, that becomes social proof for you, okay? Because other platforms now begin to see your post, other people begin to see it on other people's walls, on other people's timelines, on other people's pages. Other people take it and they will share and they like and they comment on it, and that's how your content spreads. But you need to be able to plan and schedule it across the different networks widely. Individual social media platforms have their own ways to help you maximize your reach as well. Each platform has a way it helps you to do this. And so when you've recognized when your audience is active online, what happens is that you begin to share your post at that time. So you're planning your distribution. At that time, you plan to distribute every day from 5 p.m. because my audience are active online on 5 p.m. You begin to put out your content from that time. And like I said, the individual social media platforms have their own ways to help you maximize reach, okay? They will tell you, the moments, for example, Facebook will tell you this post is performing more than every other one, boost it for more productivity. And so they can encourage you to do a post boost. Same thing also on Instagram. So they have their ways to encourage you to do that when they notice that there is high level of engagement. So you can take that, or you go to the insights on your Creator Studio and also follow up and evaluate for yourself. And step 5, which is the last and not the least, is that you want to measure results. Proper tracking is going to be vital to create a strategy that will last for long. You need to track it, and this still happens on Facebook and Instagram, as I'm using both as example, on your Creator Studio or in your Creator Studio, because there all the analysis, all the insights, your audience, everything is found there. You will see how it performed. You will see your chart that you can print out and see how your posts performed for the week or your post performed for the day, depending on what you want to, on how you want to track it, on how you want to measure the results. And when you measure it, you're going to now be able to plan ahead for the next week, because you know the things that worked and the things that didn't work. And so you're going to be planning on how you're going to do it. Ideally, you should analyze your content, or you should measure your results monthly. So after having posted and scheduled your posts across the month on social media, at the end of the month, you should be able to generate your insights, your statistics, so you can look at them and see what worked and keep track of the things that work, and probably tweak or discard those that did not work, so you don't waste any efforts and energy on things that are not going to work. And some of the things you really want to check to measure on your social media statistics or metrics is awareness. The number of times people saw your content, and as told by impressions and reach. You want to make sure that you check on how far did it go, how many people saw it, what was the impression, what was the reach, is it thousands views, is it 10 views, 5 views, what happened. You want to also check the engagement, the number of reactions, the comments, the clicks, the shares that your content got. How did it perform? Did people really connect to it? Did people comment on it? Did people like? Did people share it a lot? That is very important. You also want to look at your return on investment. Okay, your conversions and referrals from external sources. Okay, what happened when people saw this? What happened? Did people come back and buy? Did somebody buy because it was shared? Did somebody see it somewhere and come to you and say, okay, hey, I saw this thing about you? You know, those are the 3 very, very important things you want to tweak, and you want to check each time you're measuring your results at the end of the month. And so when you plan out your process with the ideas above, and you stick to these essential steps to develop a content planning that puts a strategic approach first, you will realize that it's a matter of time you will begin to put out content that are valuable and they get engagement. So these are the 5 steps I wanted to share with you on how you can create an effective social media content strategy. First, you need to identify the goal you want to set for yourself. Why are you going to be on social media? Why do you want to post? Is it for brand awareness? Is it for sales? Is it for leads generation? Is it to increase your audience reach? Is it to build a community? What do you want to do? Next, you want to plan your social media content, and to do that, you need to first of all audit what is there. You want to see if the content you have online right now is valuable and you can continue using it, or you need to change the content because your content is not engaging your audience. The third thing is you want to build a content calendar, and to build a content calendar, you need to find out where your audience hang out. How many times do they come on your page? When do they come? How do they like? At what time of the day? On which days are they the most engaged and present on your content on social media? So you can build a calendar that's going to help you post your content at the time when they are there, so you can get results. The next thing you want to do is you want to promote and distribute your content. Now, when you know when your audience is online and you know how they react to your post at the hour, now you can begin to plan to promote and distribute it, begin to share it and begin to encourage them to like and share across different platforms so it can be found everywhere. And then, most importantly, you want to check and measure your results. You want to ensure that your posts are getting the engagement you want, you're getting the return on investment, and you're getting the awareness that you want to get. These are the 5 things you need to take into consideration when you want to craft an effective social media content strategy. Okay, so that was it for this session, and then we're going to look more into this in the course of the month. We're dedicating this month to social media content creation. And now that we know how we want to how we can craft an effective social media strategy, we're going to now break this down step by step so we can together begin to do this for our brands. And you're going to come up with your own calendar, and you're going to begin to schedule your own posts, and I'm going to show you the different kind of posts you can share on social media that can raise or can get enough engagement, and then you'll be good to go by the end of the month, and you'll begin to put out content that are definitely going to bring those people that you want to bring to you. It's going to establish you as a thought leader or an authority in your field, and people are going to engage, and you're going to attract more attention, you're going to attract clients, and you're going to, in the course of it, make the money you want to make. So there you have it. Thank you for your kind attention, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. We're going to come back to it, we're going to answer it, and if there's something you are not clear on, please do not hesitate to get back to me, and I'm going to help you clarify some of those things. And until I come your way again, cheers to your branding success. Bye.